accounting session. Chapter 1, Accounting for Not-for-Profit Organization. As the name tells us here, this is not-for-profit organization. There are several organizations that work for service. Rather, their motive will not be profit. So they mainly deal with the service, but their motive is not profit. There are certain organizations which are set up for providing service to its members and the public in general. So mainly these type of organizations, they mainly deal with providing service to the public in large for the welfare of the society. So which will be helpful to the public in large. So these mainly deal with the public, which will help public a lot. There are many organizations which includes clubs, charitable institutions, schools, religious organizations, trade unions, welfare societies, and societies for the promotion of art and culture. Clubs, for anything for that matter, there are recreation clubs. So we do have parks, and there are certain clubs which we go and play games over there. So these are which are generally helpful to the public actually for any entertainment purpose. So in case of clubs for that matter, we can for the clubs for that matter we can play games, billiards or whatever, any for snookers. We can just go there and we can have some entertainment. For entertainment purpose, we can just utilize those clubs. And there are charitable institutions. Where the society will give us some certain amount, where the society in large, they actually provide a certain amount, telling that which will be helpful again to any of the organizations, for any charitable organizations for that matter. And there are also schools, that is also a non-profit organization. Here we also, in case of schools, certain people do provide some amount for any girl education or people who are scoring well in their academics and so on. And we also have religious organizations. This is also one of the non-profit organization in case of temples, masjid, mosque, and so on. And we also have the organization telling us we also have trade unions, welfare societies, and societies for the promotion of art and culture. See, we also should develop art and culture in the place where we reside or all over the country, and moreover, the art and culture should be developed well so that each one get a chance to prove themselves or whatever the performances or what they can do it. So in case of promotion of art and culture, we do have dance programs, we have dramas which are held, which are again recreating or which are entertaining the public in large, where the public is liking a lot and where they come and they get entertained by all of these. Or in case of promotion of art and culture, where art will be where in Chitrakala Parishad, where we can just go, they exhibit. There are certain exhibitions which they exhibit, so that we can see different arts performed by different artists, which are drawn by different artists. So these are the organizations. Those are clubs, charitable institutions, schools, religious organizations, trade unions, welfare societies, which are welfare to the public in large, which are giving public a great sort of welfare, and societies for the promotion of art and culture. So these are the organizations which provide service to the public in general. Now these organizations, as I said, as I already mentioned, telling that these organizations have service as the main objective. So these organizations have service as the main objective, but not the profit. So they also have to prepare proper accounts and prepare the financial statements. So we will also have to prepare. So why are we preparing the accounts for these? In case where there are no profit, the question might arise: why are we preparing why are we preparing financials when there is no profit in case of these organizations? But here it's a legal term. It's legally we will have to prepare. Legally we will have to prepare the financials for us to know what is for us to maintain proper financials. See, we will have to prepare. There are 3 steps in this non-profit organizations which we are preparing. That is, one, we prepare receipts and payments account. Receipts and payments account. This is nothing but it's just a replica, or it's similar to our cash book. Second one, let's go detail more further on all of these. It's just these are just the steps which I'm letting you all know what are all these. So receipts and payments account. Next we prepare, the next step is income and expenditure account. Income and expenditure account. The third one is our balance sheet. Balance sheet, as we all know, we'll get to know the exact financial position of the organization. So these are the proper accounts. These are the accounts which we all have to prepare. That is receipts and payments account, income and expenditure account, and the balance sheet at the end for every accounting period. We move on to the next slide. That is, we move on to the next topic. That is, let us also know what is the meaning for not-for-profit organization. The same thing as I said, not-for-profit organization refer to the organizations that are used for the welfare of the society. That is, for the welfare of the society. Correct? And are set up as charitable institution which functions without any profit motive. As I said earlier, we work only for the service which we are giving to the public, but there is no such profit expectations at all in these sort of organizations. No such profit. We are not expecting any profit from the public here. We are just giving welfare to the public. We are just giving welfare to the public here. And let us see what are the characteristics of such organizations. So they are formed. The first one is they are formed for providing service. They are formed for providing service to a specific group. Here. So as you can see here, specific group or public at large, such as education, healthcare, recreation, sports, and so on, without any consideration of caste, creed, and color. That means, as it says, one of the organization here, we have for education purpose for that matter, we have lot of girl education or people who are performing well in academics. So we do provide a lot of charity to these. In case of education, we do provide certain amounts in case of education where it will be helpful to the students and where they can study more further. In case of healthcare facilities, there are a lot of healthcare facilities where certain people are providing certain amounts or certain medical ailments which are giving to the public here, so that the people who are not affordable can make utilize of it. Recreation, such as we have parks in our areas where there are parks there, and see, we also can use, there are certain gym equipments which are put up there, so we don't have to spend going to the gym exactly, so we can use the recreation which is given to the public here. So we can generally go to the gym there, and there are certain equipments there, so we can make utilize of all those properly, and so that we can have good. The people of public will utilize it well. There are sports and so on without any consideration of caste, creed, and color. There are also some sports organizations where people who can't afford but who really good at who really play well. They also provide some certain sort of support in case of sports, so that they can come forward and they can also play to our national level and state levels and so on. they promote students, or they promote people, they promote people who are who play well in the sports and so on. So these are organized. The second characteristics are these are organized as charitable trust societies, and subscribers to such organizations are called members. Now let us also see what are the main sources of income of such organizations. So firstly, if I have to tell you all, no, we all have to know what is the, we all can wonder like what are the main sources of the organization, from where do we get the money, or from where do we get the monetary support to run the charitable organizations or any organizations which are running for the welfare of the society. And firstly, we are coming to subscriptions, that is subscriptions from members. Subscription from members. Maybe if you have to get into a membership, so we will have to pay certain amount in case of subscription. So there will be a certain fees which is set up monthly or yearly. You can go ahead with that, and you can pay certain amount, that is subscription from members, like members who are affordable and who can pay the amount. That is, those are the members who pay. They do subscribe for that particular. In case of temples, we just go and give us some certain nomination amount will be there, so where you can pay rupees 100 or 1,000. It depends the nomination fees. It depends on different members of how do they want. If they are willing to pay more amount, yes they can, and people who are not affordable, they can pay a certain small amount and they can be the member of the organization. Anything for that matter. Take an example of temple, that you will have to go to the temple and pay certain amount there, so that you will be getting some magazine or anything, or any pujas, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಪೂಜೆಗಳು ನಡೀತಿದ್ರೆ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಮಗಳು ಹವನಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ information. We will also get to know the information completely in detail, so that we will know, so that we will have to pay a certain nomination fees. So that is subscription from members. I hope you all are clear with this subscription from members. This is also one of the source of income to the organization. A simple example, as I told you all, temple. I think you can go ahead. I hope you all understood with this what is the subscription from members. Now, secondly, we have donations. People who are willing to pay certain amount to the organization can definitely pay donations, and there is no certain particular fixed amount in case of donations. It depends on your willingness, the amount you can pay as much as possible. There is no such limit. You can pay the amount. Now, the third source of income for our organizations are legacies. So what are these legacies? We will have to know what are these legacies. It's an amount of money or property left to someone in a will. It's an amount or property. It's an amount of money. It's an amount of money. It's an amount of money or the property in case some person, for example, if I can tell you, if a person has no kids, or if he is not willing to give it to anyone, if he is willing to give it to the charitable organization, he will write a will telling that it will be given to the public. It will be given to the one of the charitable organization. If he is whichever charitable organization, if he is willing to, so he will write a will telling that an amount of money, in case he can also give certain amount, or if he's got any property as such, if he is willing to give that property to the temple or any sort of organizations, the property which is a land or constructed building, anything for that matter, if he's willing to give it to the organizations, so he can definitely give it to the organization, any sort of welfare organization, to the public in the sense, don't take it into the public at large, to anyone for that matter, but there are certain organizations which are set up only, which is for the welfare of the society. Not everyone in that case. It is only for certain people, certain organizations, and he can write a will. So that will also be one of the source of income. So that will also be one of, it'll add on to the source of income for us here. And the next source of income will be our grant and aid. So what is this grant and aid? Grant and aid is nothing but it's an amount which is given by the central government for a specific project, for any sort of project. If any of the organizations is taking up any project for girl education or helping any other societies or constructing houses to the people who are staying in the slums to bring up the poverty, I mean to construct few houses or buildings or people who are staying in the slum, or so any project for that matter. But this grant and aid grants, these grants will be given by the central government. It will be given by the central government so that it will be helpful to the public here again. So this kind of funding is usually used when the government and the parliament have decided that the recipient should be publicly funded but operate with reasonable independence. So they will be given certain independence as to the right project will be given the right amount. So for certain projects, for what is it? For certain projects, it will be utilized. So for certain projects, grant and aid will be utilized. So the next source of income, that is income from investments. So what are these investments? We will have to know about it, correct? Income from investments. Now if I have to tell you in a layman's language or a simple language, Andre, now if you would have invested if we have put an FD amount in the bank, FD ಅಂದ್ರೆ fixed deposit invest ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ bank ಅಲ್ಲಿ, you will be getting an interest out of it. Interest and the fixed interest monthly. It depends on you all. If you are selecting FD for in case of maturity at the time of, in case you are receiving interest at the time of maturity, you can also receive interest at the time of maturity, or you can receive the interest in case of monthly or quarterly. So that will also be an income from investment. ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ರಿಸೀವ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಫ್ ಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡಬಹುದು, ಫಿಕ್ಸೆಡ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ ನ when you're receiving bank deposit, fixed deposit ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಎಫ್ ಡಿ ಮಾಡಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ರಿಸೀವ್, ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ಚಾರಿಟಬಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಡೈಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ನಮ್ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಚಾರಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಸ್ ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಟು ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್, ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ಕೆಲವೊಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಎನ್ ಜಿ ಒಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಮೋಟಿವ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿ ಸಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್, ದೇ ಯೂಟಿಲೈಸ್ ದಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಆದಂಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ದೆಮ್. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ 5 ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್. ಅದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್. ಇದು ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್, that is the members, as I gave you all an example of the temple, like if you are subscribing certain, you can subscribe certain amount to the temple as such. That is a small nomination fees. It depends on the temple's rules and regulations, and you can invest, you can put certain, you can subscribe for that particular thing. Then next one is the donations. It depends on the amount which is willing by the party. It depends on the party as to how much income or how much amount he will be giving it to the organization. And the third one is, as I mentioned y'all, it is the legacies. It's an amount or property or will which is written by certain person. Any person, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು person, he can write. ಚಾರಿಟಬಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅವರು ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ ಅ ವಿಲ್, ಒಂದು ಹಣಕಾಸಿನ ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್, ಹಣವನ್ನು ನೀಡಬಹುದು. ಇಲ್ಲವಾದರೆ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ಸಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಬರ್ಕೊಡ್ಬಹುದು, ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಎನಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಡ್ಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಒಂದು ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಬಿ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕಮ್. ಅದನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಪರಿಗಣಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಒನ್, ಗ್ರಾಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಏಡ್. ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಸೆಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಗ್ರಾಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಏಡ್. ಇದು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ದಟ್ ವಿ, ಆಸ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು, that if they are using some certain big projects are being taken, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಲೋವರ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇರೋರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅಲಾಟೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಆ ತರ ಲೋವರ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇರೋರ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡೋದು. ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಸ್ಲಮ್ ಮನೆಗಳು ಕಟ್ಟಿಸ್ಕೊಡೋದು, ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಆ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಯೂಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ. ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಮಿಸ್ಯೂಟಿಲೈಸ್. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಯೂಟಿಲೈಸ್ ದಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ಸ್ properly and exactly where it will reach the public. Exactly, it will reach the public exactly for the improvement. It helps the people here. So that is the grant in aid, and the government amount should not be misutilized, and it has to be utilized exactly, and which will help the people. It will reach the people exactly, and they'll make a utility of it properly. So ಆತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. The next one, as I said, that is income from investments. Income from investments. If we have invested certain amount in the bank, for that matter, you've invested. ಇದು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಅದು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಮನೇಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಬದಲು ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಎಫ್ ಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಎಫ್ ಡಿ ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ ಆದಾಗ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಮಂತ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ಲಿ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ನಮ್ದಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ organization. That is income from investments. So our income from investments. So when we move on, the funds raised by such organizations, the funds which are raised by the organization through various sources. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು, the funds raised by such organizations through various sources are credited to capital fund or general fund. Capital, what does it say? What does this characteristic says? We all know that we prepare our balance sheet. When we prepare, usually we take liabilities and asset side. When we usually prepare this way, liabilities and assets, we do take our capital here. But this is called as what? This is called as capital fund. So what are these capital funds? This is nothing but the sources of income, the donations and such. So these are the various sources, are the sources of income, what I said in the previous slide. So these are the amounts which will be taken here. This is going to be our capital fund. And when we prepare the next characteristics, if I have to tell you all, see to it carefully that we are talking about this here. The next characteristic. Now, if I have to tell you all, as I mentioned you all, that we will have to prepare 3 steps in this chapter. That is, one is receipts and payments account, income and expenditure account, and that is the balance sheet. Now, when we are preparing income and expenditure account, see, the surplus andre eno, this is the profit alva. The surplus generated in the form of excess of income over expenditure. Andre eno, excess of income is more here. The income is more than our expenditure. Aವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, when the expenditure, income ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದು expenses ಕಮ್ಮಿ, the excess of income over expenditure, you will get a profit. ಇಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ನಾವು profit ಬರುತ್ತೆ. But can this be distributed among the members? No, a big no to it. So it will be simply added to our capital fund. So what is it? I repeat, that is income which is more. The excess of income over expenditure is not distributed. The profit which we gain out of it is not distributed amongst the members. It is simply added in the capital fund. So it will be simply added to our capital fund. Hope you all understood. Hope you all understood the characteristics. So these will be our characteristics. When we move on to the accounting records of NPO. As I said, you all, we prepare three records or three steps we have, that is which I mentioned earlier. That is going to be our receipts and payment account. Receipts and payment, that is receipts and payment account. Payment account. So what do we do in receipts and payments account? This is going to be it is going to be very similar to our cash and bank transactions. Cash and bank transactions. Replica, just a replica. Replica andre ಏನು, it is very similar to a cash book. Cash book ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, how do we prepare? ನಮ್ಗೆ in simple language ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮನೆಗಳಲ್ಲೇ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ನಾವು ಏನು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಏನ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ಯೋ we take all these things. Receipts ಅಲ್ವಾ, receipts we take all the income ಏನೇನ್ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ we write. Then again payments ಏನೇನು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದೀವೋ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ only through cash, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು, ಬರೀ I'm talking only about the cash book over here. So ಏನೇನ್ payments, what are the payments what we have spent on different things. Simple. We've got ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, we take tuitions, or for that matter in simple matter tuitions ಬಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ we've received from 2 kids 1,000 rupees for that matter. ಅದೊಂದು ಇದು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬುಕ್. ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನೆಲ್ಲ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಆರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬುಕ್. ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ವೆಜಿಟೇಬಲ್ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, we've got vegetables, or we've got some stationery, simple things whatever we are doing here, whatever we are spending certain amounts, so that is going to be our payments. So these are receipts and these are payments. So as I said y'all, receipts and payments account is very similar to our cash book. It is very similar to our cash book. It's just a replica, just summary of cash book, not even similar. It is just the same. It is just the same as how we prepare our cash book. It's the same thing we are preparing our receipts and payments account. Then the next one, the next one is we are preparing, that is income and expenditure account. Income and expenditure account, that is it's the summary of income and expenditure account. Income and expenditure account. So what is our income and expenditure account? This has also got certain similarities. This has got certain similarities with what? It is very similar to profit and loss account. Profit and loss account. Got it? It is so income and expenditure account is very similar to profit and loss account. It's almost the same. It is just like a profit and loss account prepared on accrual basis in case of business organizations. Got it? So how do we do our P&L account? We take all the expenses and we take all the incomes here. The similar way, we will have to prepare these two. So this is the second step what we prepare in income and expenditure account. And the third one what we prepare is our balance sheet. So what is this balance sheet here? This is just to know finally, with the help of income and expenditure and with the help of receipts and payments account, we are preparing balance sheet just to know our financial position. Just to know our financial position of the organization, we prepare our balance sheet. Now, the next one, we learned what are the different steps to prepare in case of not-for-profit organization. Now, we are learning the distinction, that is the difference between income and expenditure account. The difference between income and expenditure account. The difference between income and expenditure account and receipts and payments. So we are learning the difference between these two. So let us know what differences are here so that we can differentiate between these two. We will have to know exactly what are these two. So as I mentioned y'all, first one, as I mentioned y'all, telling that is, it is like a profit and loss account. It is moreover like a profit and loss account. Income and expenditure account is nothing but our profit and loss account. Correct? Profit and loss account, as I told you all, as I mentioned you all. It is like a profit and loss account, and it's the summary of our cash book. It's the summary of our cash book. ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. So now we are knowing what the distinction between our income and expenditure account. Income and expenditure account. Income and expenditure account and the receipts and payment account. So let us know what is the difference between these two and come to a proper clarification as to what these are. Receipts and payment account. So let us know what the difference is between these two. Got it? Yes. Now, the first one, income and expenditure account, it is like a profit and loss account. As I mentioned you all previously, income and expenditure account is just like a profit and loss account. And what is receipts and payments account? It is just the summary of cash book. It is very simple, where we will have to know just summary of what is it? It is the summary of cash book. Correct? So what is income? What is the difference? Mainly the difference between these two, that is income and expenditure account. It is like a profit and loss account. And what is receipts and payments account? It is the summary of cash book. It is the summary of cash book. So the second one, what we are going to deal with is the second difference is it records income and expenditure of revenue nature only. What is it? Revenue nature. So what is revenue nature? What is it? Revenue nature. Correct. It's what is revenue nature? It deals with short-term items, that is income and expenses. Only revenue nature for that matter. It deals only with income and expenses. It deals only with income and expenses. Okay. So I repeat, it records income and expenditure of revenue nature only. Revenue in nature means that is it deals with short-term items, that is income and expenses. So what is the difference here we are going to learn? That is it records receipts and payments of revenue as well as capital. It records receipts and payments of revenue as well as capital in nature, as well as the capital in nature. Got it? So what is capital in nature again? It deals with long term. Here we revenue in nature, it dealt with short term items, that is income and expenses. When it comes to capital in nature, it deals with long term items, assets and liabilities, or owner's equity. So the revenue in nature deals with the short term, that is income and expenses, and capital in nature, when it comes to capital in nature, as I said earlier, it deals with long term. So what are the long term items here? Assets, liabilities, or owner's equity. Owner's equity, you all know that is the share capital, no? So it deals with the long term. So here in income and expenditure account, it deals with the revenue in nature. That is, the revenue nature deals with the short term items, that is income and expenses. And in case of receipts and payments account, it deals with revenue as well as capital in nature. Let's move on to the next point. Income and expenditure account items relate only to the current period. It deals only with the current period here. Correct? Income and expenditure account for this particular year, it deals only with that. But in case of receipts and payments account, it may also relate to preceding and succeeding periods. Preceding and succeeding periods. Got it? It may deal with anything for that matter, any for receipts and payments account. See, income and expenditure account mainly deals with profit and loss account, the current period. But in case of receipts and payments account, as I said, y'all, it is a cash book, what we prepare in a very simpler manner in our day-to-day or daily basis, what we prepare. It may prepare last year, receipts and payments, it may also relate to preceding and preceding means previous, succeeding means next. So succeeding periods. So the first point it says as is it's like a profit and loss account, and it's the summary of the cash book in case of receipts and payments account. In case of income and expenditure account, it records income and expenditure account of revenue nature only. What is revenue nature? It deals with short-term items, that is incomes and expenses. When it comes to receipts and payments account, it deals with revenue as well as capital in nature. What is capital in nature? It deals with long-term items such as assets, liabilities, or owner's equity. And the third point is income and expenditure account items relate only to the current period. Receipts and payments account may also relate to preceding and succeeding periods. Next point, we will move on to the next point, that is debit side of this account. When I tell you all income and expenditure account, that is the fourth point. Income debit side of this account records expenses and losses. Debit side. Now what is income and expenditure account? We prepare like this expenditure and income. We prepare in this manner. Okay? We prepare in this manner. What do we prepare? This is the manner and mannerisms in which we prepare our expenditure and income account. That means this is your debit and this is your credit. Okay? Debits and credit. Debit side of this account records expenses and losses. Expenses and losses. This is the same thing which I'm dealing with, the differentiation between expenditure and income and receipts and payments. Under expenditure and income, I just made a bifurcation for you all to show the sides. That's it. Okay. So debit side of this account records expenses and losses. Expenses and losses. Okay. And credit side, together I'm telling you all together. So credit side, what do? It deals with incomes and gains. Any income we are receiving, So that is going to be taken down here, receipts, incomes and gains. Hope you all understood. The same thing in case of, the same difference in case of receipts and payments account. So how do we prepare receipts and payments account? As I mentioned y'all, it looks like a cash book. It looks like a cash book. In that case, how will we prepare our cash book? The receipts, what we receive here, the receipts, the amounts what we receive, and these are going to be our payments, what we spend, expenditure, payments. Okay, so here the debit side of this account records the receipts. As usual, the income, whatever you receive, it will be written here, it will be taken down here. In case of payments, in case all the expenses for that matter, for the amount what you've been paid. So these are all going to be the expenses. In income bandruno, we will take it here. ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಆಗಿ, ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನ್ ತಗೋತೀವಿ, ಆಲ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸಸ್, ಏನಾದ್ರು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ತಗೋತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್, ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಗೇನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್. ಅದೇ ಸೇಮ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ರೆಸಿಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಸಿಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ರೆಸಿಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ರೆಸಿಪ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಏನ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿರೋದು ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಶೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ credit side. So this is also one of the difference in case of income and expenditure account and receipts and payments account. On the difference, this is over na, this is over. So next let's move on to the fifth point, that is, I'll mention it here so that you all don't get confused with the lines here. So it includes depreciation. It includes what? Depreciation. What includes depreciation? Income and expenditure account includes depreciation. Receipts and payments account does not include depreciation. Income and expenditure account includes depreciation, and receipts and payments account does not include depreciation. Make a note of it. Receipts and payments, it doesn't include depreciation. And we will move on to the next point. What is our next point? That is, there is no opening balance. In case of expenditure account, there is no opening balance. ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ opening balance? ಏನು ಇರಲ್ಲ. But in case of receipts and payments account, balance in the beginning represents cash in hand, cash at bank, or overdraft at the beginning. Balance will be here. ಅಂದ್ರೆ how can you tell that there's a balance? Cash book prepare ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, we all prepare our cash book. ಹೋದ್ ವರ್ಷದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್, ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇನೋ, ಅದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಯರ್ ಏನು, 1st April to 31st March ನಾವು ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ವಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದ ಬುಕ್ಸ್. ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಉಳಿದಿರುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ? ಇವಾಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಒಂದು 100 rupees ಉಳಿದಿದ್ರೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ 31st March ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನ? ವಿ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್. ತಗೋತೀವ, ಹಾಗೆ ಬಿಡ್ತೀವ ಅಮೌಂಟ್? ನೋ, ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಡೂ ದಟ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಡು ವಿ ಡೂ? ದ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಡು ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್? ದ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬುಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್. ಏನ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಬಂದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿರುತ್ತೆ ದುಡ್ಡು, ಅದಿರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದು, ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಯರ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಯರ್ಗೆ ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಬಿ ದ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ರೆಸಿಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಇನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆರ್ ಓವರ್ ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್, ರೈಟ್, ವಿತ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್. So next, when we move on to the format of receipts and payments account, so we are going to deal with the format of receipts and payments account. So receipts and payments account, as I said y'all, receipts and payments account. So you can see here what are the difference, what are the things we consider in case of receipts and payments. As I mentioned y'all just right before the slide, I just told y'all that we will have balances. What balances we have? We have cash balance, correct? We have cash balance with us here, and bank balance also for that matter. Bank passbook balance opening closing iruttalva. So we take the balances. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ? Understand it in a very simpler way. Take accounts in a very simple, see accounts in a simpler way on to daily day-to-day basis, how we prepare. Just see to that so that the accountancy will be very easy in that case. Apply that in case you're doing it for yourself or your own organization, so that accountancy will turn out to be very easy. And moreover, take receipts and payments account. As I mentioned you all, it is similar to our cash book. It is similar to our day-to-day daily basis, how our parents do maintain the books. Certain, not many, but certain people do maintain the books, telling that we've got income of this amount and we've spent so much. But even for small amounts also, they do keep it and keep it. That is for vegetables or anything for that matter. Okay, then and there are certain incomes also, like what we receive out of small incomes, what we get. So consider receipts and payments account in a normal cash balance or in the normal cash book, what we get. It's normal cash book. Receipts and payments is nothing but our normal cash book. So apply your mind to a normal cash book in case of our receipts and payments account. So as I told you all, this is again going to be, now we finish first in case of mainly don't forget to write the format properly. Don't forget the headings. Please do write the format exactly. Marks, the format contains marks. It contains marks here. You don't write, you're definitely going to lose marks here. So please do write the headings for all the steps. Receipts and payments account for the period ending on, for whichever ending, 31st March, so on. So you're going to take up that way and do it. Receipts and payments account for the period ending on. Please do draw neat columns, write it neatly, and telling that receipts on the debit side and payments on the credit side. Mention this, debit and credit. Correct? So first in the format, what you're supposed to do, write the titles write the format heading properly, that is receipts and payments account for the period ending on. Then you will have to write your receipts on the debit side and payments on the credit side. This is the format for receipts and payments account. Please listen to it carefully. Yes. And then what are these? As I mentioned, your receipts, all your incomes will be taken here on the debit side. All your expenses and payments will be taken over here. So when we come mainly, what is the first thing? As I also mentioned, you all telling that receipts and payments account will have a cash balance, will have a bank balance. Obviously, if you're having some amount in the bank, there will be, so they will have a continuity, right? The financial year closes on 31st March, but then there is always an opening. Next opening, it starts from April. So what happens? We take the opening balances here. That is, which is ending on 31st March, will again continue to be from 1st April. The amounts or the balances will be taken into consideration here. So to balance brought down, cash balance and bank balance, these are the opening balances which you take it together and which we get the amount here. Next, to subscription, we take subscription amount only for previous year, for current year, for next year. So certain people, they would have paid, as I told you all in the previous example, subscriptions which are being paid by the members of the temple or members of any organization for that matter. All the subscriptions will be mentioned here. For previous year, what was the subscription, for the current year, how much they paid, and for the next year also some do pay. That is the amount that also we have taken into consideration here. And the next one, these are the different receipts. Maybe this is not from one particular organization. These are from different sort of organizations. This is just the format what we are preparing. There will be different organizations. There can be temple, there can be charity, there can be school income, there can be they are running a sports academy or anything for that matter. This is just a format. So depending upon the organization which they give us in the question, we go accordingly. So these are the possibilities what we receive from charitable organizations. These are the possible incomes what we receive from our charitable organizations. So entrance fees, the first one what we take. the entrance fee does not matter that you'll have to go accordingly whatever is written in the format. It depends on the question what they give us, but take the right receipts. Usually we all should know what has to be taken on the receipt side and what has to be taken on the payment side. That bifurcation should be learnt very easily, and particularly when properly it has to be learnt. Now this is going to be entrance fees. ಏನ್ entrance fees ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ exhibition ಏನಾದ್ರೂ for that matter we pay entrance fees ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದು ಒಂದು income ಅಲ್ವಾ. So that is also one of the incomes what we take it over here, that is entrance fees. And donation for building purposes, for any construction purpose we some certain donations will be paid here. So that is also one of our income for the organization. To general donations, any party who willingly wants to pay certain amount, so that will be paid in case of general donations. And then there will be life membership fees as well. What is this life membership fees? Life membership, for the whole lifetime we pay certain amount where we are going to be the member for the whole of our lifetime. That is going to be our certain membership fees will be paid, so that is going to be here. That is also one of the income. That is also one of the income for receipts and payments, in case of receipts and payments account. And as I told you all, legacies is also one of the source of income which I mentioned you all in characteristics. Hope you all remember. I repeat, legacies, it's an amount of money or property left to someone in a will. So it is left to someone in a will, that means that has been given to the charitable organization, which remains as one of the sources of income. Next, grant from government. I also mentioned this is also one of the source of income to the organization. That is for certain project purposes the government would have given this amount, so this will also be the income for in case of receipts. So contribution for annual dinner. For contribution, there will be certain contributions for annual dinner in temples, or if they are in case of any pujas, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಪೂಜೆಗಳು ಆತರ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಾಗ, there are certain functions ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಾಗ, ಪೂಜೆಗಳು ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಡಿನ್ನರ್ ಊಟೋಪಚಾರಗಳು ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, as we see in case of ಧರ್ಮಸ್ಥಳ or ಶೃಂಗೇರಿ. There are certain they actually arrange for lunch and dinner for so many people. ಯಾರು ಬಂದ್ರು, ಭಕ್ತಾದಿಗಳು ಯಾರು ಬಂದ್ರು, the food will definitely be given to them, the lunch or the dinner will be given to them. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು we can all contribute. That is also one of the organization ಅಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು we will go to the temple, ನಮ್ ಕೈಲಾದಷ್ಟು ನಾವು ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So annual dinnerಗೆ, ರಾತ್ರಿ ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ we just contribute certain amount ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಇಲ್ಲ in case of lunchಗೋ ಇಲ್ಲ breakfastಗೋ ಇಲ್ಲ whatever it is we contribute ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ contribution ಅದು ಒಂದು income ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಒಂದು organizationಗೆ. That will also be one of the income for the organization. So ಆ ತರ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ರೆಂಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ರೆಂಟ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂತು, ವೇರ್ ಡಿಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್, ಹೌ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಅನ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇವಾಗ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ವೆನ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇವಾಗ ಲೆಗಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಏನಾದ್ರು ವಿಲ್ ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್, ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಬಿಡಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ? ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಇಫ್ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ರೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದರಿಂದ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಕೂಡ ಗೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಎರಡ್ ತರ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸಿ ಇನ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ವೇಸ್, ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ವೇಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಲೆಗಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವರೇ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ರೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಚಾರಿಟಿ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಅವರು ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಯೂಟಿಲೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರಿಟಬಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್, ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೆಂಟ್ ದೇ ಗಿವ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್. ಸೊ ರೆಂಟ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಅದೇನೋ ಅವ್ರ ಓನ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಟು ದ ಚಾರಿಟಿ. ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಟು ದ ಚಾರಿಟಿ. ಆ ರೆಂಟಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದ ಚಾರಿಟಿ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ರೆಸಿಪ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ಆನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಇವಾಗ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ, so some of them who are very much interested in the sports as such, and then they do provide a certain amount to the sports organization. Please do contribute it to the people who are not affordable and who can't buy the sports equipment. So what the necessary items what they require alva. If they're playing cricket and they need a bat and so many other things what they require alva. So if they're not affording and if they're playing really well, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಆಡ್ತಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಈ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇದು ನಮ್ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು whoever is interested ಅಲ್ವಾ, we do contribute. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಚಾರಿಟಿಗೂ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಕೊಡಿ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ರೆಸಿಪ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್, ನಮ್ದೇ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಚಾರಿಟಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ someone is investing and we will consider it as our income ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ನಾವೇ ಊಹಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಲೆಟ್ us illusionary, like let us get an example sort of, so that it will be easy for us to understand accounts in a proper way, in a proper understandable way. So it will be easy and there will be no such confusions. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ? Then next, ಸೇಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್. ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನೋ ಮೋರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೊ ವಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಕೀಪ್ ದಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಲಾಂಗರ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸೇಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಏನೇನ್ ಇದ್ದರಿತ್ತು, ವಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊತೀವ. ನೋ, ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್, ಬಟ್ what do? That will also belong to our recipe. So that will also belong to a charitable organization. In case of that will also be one of our recipes anta alva. And sale of old ಮ್ಯಾಗಝೀನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲಾಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗಝೀನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಇದಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್, ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನೋ ಮೋರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೀಸೈಕಲ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ರೀಸೈಕಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಡು ವಿ ಸೆಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಆಫ್ ಮೆನಿ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಡು ವಿ ಸೆಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಫ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ that is also the income for the organization. Alva. So these are the things what we prepare in case of receipts. These are the things. And this is sundry receipts. Yeah, we have the last one, that is going to be our sundry receipts. Any amounts which we have to receive, that is also going to be here. Sundry receipts which we will have to receive certain amount from certain people, that is also going to be our sundry receipts. Next we move on to the payments. So it is coming, when we come to the payments here, so we will have by balance brought down. What is bank overdraft? What is a bank overdraft? Bank overdraft is nothing but the amount which is overdrawn from the bank is going to be a bank overdraft. And overdraft, hope you all understood what is a bank overdraft, and a certain amount will be there in that case where we are overdrawing from the particular amount, right from the particular amount. Adakkinta jaasti ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ನಾವು if we are drawing from the overwithdrawal iruttalla, so that is going to be our bank overdraft. And then coming to the next expense or the next payment which we are spending in case from charitable organization, ನಾವು ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ, we are spending to different certain organizations, that will be our annual sports expenses. And if we are conducting some sports programs as such, the certain expenses which we spend to them alva, so that is going to be by annual sports expenses. And we also have salaries and wages. There are certain payments which are being paid to salaries. ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಯಾಲರೀಸ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ we will have to pay them. So that is also one of the expense for our organizations. And rent rates and taxes. In case of rent andre what we pay, we would have taken certain place for conducting some programs or some functions. With there we spend certain amount and the payment goes to that is also one of our payments in case of receipts and payments account. And we also have certain expense in case of insurance. So what do we have? We have certain insurances, like we'd have general insurance or some fire insurance. If something happens to the charity or the property of the organization, for the savior of the organization, we do pay certain insurance fees. So that is also one of the expense. And we also have certain furniture. This is also one of the payment we spend for certain furniture. If we are really in need of certain furnitures in schools as such, we need certain furnitures, tables and chairs as such. So we spend amount in those cases. So that will also be one of our expense. In case of sports equipment, as we also run a sports academy as such, if we are in need of any sports equipment, we pay and purchase those equipments, and that will also remain as one of our expense. And books and periodicals, if we are in need of any books or any periodicals, we can't get in free of cost, but we will have to pay certain amount. So that is also one of our expense. Audit fees, definitely audit fees. Audit fees has to be paid to a chartered accountant in case, as these are the financial statements, which is a legal requirement to the organization, where it has to be audited by a chartered accountant, and he will have to look carefully into all the expenses and purchases. And in case of grant and aid which is given by the government, the amount which is given by the government should be utilized properly. So for that purpose, we give our financials to a chartered accountant, where the whole books will be audited by them, and then we will have to pay them certain amount, and which will remain as an expense to the organization, and that is our audit fees. Then the next expenses are printing and stationery. A small printing and stationery, we use it for pens or scales or whatever it is, the necessary purpose what we require, we spend on them. So that is going to be the printing and stationery. Coming to honorarium. So what is a honorarium? In simple language, if I have to tell you all, any guest lecturers have been called to the colleges or schools, any guest lecturers. So we pay them certain amount. So there is no fixed amount as such what we pay to the lecturers there. We just give them some amount, and that is there. In case of guest lecturers who comes to the college and who talks on certain topics, so we give them some honorarium as such. So that is going to be an expense to the organization here, and that is going to be an honorarium. Next, in case of bank charges, what are these bank charges? In simple manner, if I would like to tell you all, we all have, when we are running any organization, we should all have a proper legal bank account, so that we will also know what are the expenses and incomes which we are which we will get to know if there are any bank transactions, if certain party is investing or certain party is giving us the amount in case of a check. So those amounts or those cases will be transacted in a bank, and that those are the amounts what we will be getting in a bank passbook. So in case of those, we will also get certain messages from the bank. So the bank do charge some amount for that, and that is going to be the bank charges. In case of postage and telegrams, any post needs to be sent to certain people. In case of temples, certain amounts, if there are yado through homa pujagal ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ they send us home alva. So there is certain functions dated wise ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ. So they do send some post to different members houses. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು subscribe ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ, subscription payment pay ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ, so you all pay a certain amount for any of the subscriptions or any periodicals if you're receiving. So avaga we receive postage and telegram purpose ge ನಾವು organization we spend certain amount. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ that will also remain as one of our expense to the organization. Then next one is water and electricity. Water and electricity ಬಂದಾಗ obviously ಅಲ್ವಾ, we use ಅಲ್ವಾ charitable organization run ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಾಗ we definitely come across these expenses, that is water and electricity. ಅದು ಒಂದು payment ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ. So next one ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು conveyance and traveling. Suppose we are traveling to different countries for the purpose of charity, whatever it is, from the organization, if we are moving to a different place, that is also one of our expense which will remain in our payment section. Sundry expenses, these are smaller miscellaneous expenses, small certain expenses from the charity if it is going forward. So that will also be one of our payment. Annual dinner expenses, as I told you all, now Sringeri Dharmasthala alla hodaga annual dinner annual we will pay certain amount alva, what we pay to the people over there, like so that they ಅನ್ನದಾನ ಸಂತರ್ಪಣೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಇದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಆನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಡಿನ್ನರ್, ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆನ್ಯುವಲ್ ಡಿನ್ನರ್ ನಮ್ ಕೈಲಾದಷ್ಟು ನಾವು ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಿದೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್, ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಅನ್ನದಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋನ್ ಹಿಯರ್. And in case of the next one and the last one, in case of payment, that is investments, anything we are investing for the purpose of charity. Expense alva, nam kayinda ದುಡ್ಡು ಹೋಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ here. So FDs or whatever it is, we are spending certain amount for the purpose of the charity or certain organizations. The investment which we spend, that is going to be an expense from the charity. So that will be our one of the payments in case of receipts and payments account. And finally, we get to know the closing balances of cash and bank account. The amount here in the beginning, what we did here, it was the opening balance of cash and the opening balance of bank. And after all the transactions of receipts and payments account, finally we end up getting the closing balances of cash and bank account. So this is how we prepare receipts and payments account.